Hey everyone, I hope you can see me. I am just trying to pull you up on Facebook over here. But hey everyone, I'm Katrina, the owner of Kathleen Creations, Reefs and Things. And I wanted to come on and do a video with you guys showing you guys a burlap wreath that you can use all year round. You heard me right. A burlap wreath you can use all year round, in and out the house and for any occasion. So we're going to do that today. But when you guys come on, make sure you guys let me know where you're coming on from, who you are, if you do any crafts. If you're crafty, if you're not, let me know. And let me know if you've done something like this before. I want to know. But especially when you come on, make sure you say hi. I have you pulled up. I can actually talk back and forth with you. Also, ask me any questions you want. I will try to answer them as much as I can while I'm doing this wreath. But we're going to jump right into making this burlap, very easy, year-round burlap wreath. Let's get started. Now, what you're going to need is a frame, and this is a 14-inch Dollar Tree wire frame, right? You can get it at any Dollar Tree. They're not hard to find. I mean, during the pandemic, at one point it was, but they're now stocking back up at most Dollar Trees, so you can find them. You're going to need, I pulled 3 zip ties. You may not need that much, but, you pull some zip ties because this is how I secure it to my frame. You're going to need your burlap, and burlap you can get at Walmart. You can get them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, craft stores. You may can find some at the Dollar Tree, but not this color. The Dollar Tree had Halloween burlap. So, but to find the natural burlap, I've been lucky at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, the craft stores. You can find this. This one came from Walmart. So this is the one you can find at Walmart. But like I said, you can get them from anywhere. And we're going to just open that up. And that's just about all you need, besides whatever occasion you want to use this for. And I have over here past my computer, there are some picks, and I'm going to show you what a pick is. There's some picks that you can use to, decide what season that you want to use this for. Okay, so this is my roll of burlap, and I'm just going to take it and I'm going to pinch it. See how I pinched it? I just fold the 2 ends and I pinch it. Then I'm going to find anywhere on my wreath, which I like to attach it to this bottom bar, because then I'm going to do the pull through these two top bars right here, the outside and the one next to the outside. But I attach it down here, and I'm going to show you how I'm attach it. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, when you come in, say hi. Let me know that you're watching. So here it is. We go here. I pick a spot. I take the zip tie. I go around. See how I come from underneath? Come from underneath the burlap. And the burlap is very easy to go through with the zip tie. Then you go back. You come over the rail and under on the other side. So over the rail and under on the other side. Then you flip it over like this, and you just close the zip tie. You take your wire cutters, which is something else you may want to have handy, and you don't have to have this big one, but my small one is over there, but this is the first one I could grab. I'm just going to leave that out. And you snip off the ends, and your burlap is attached to your wreath, so you don't have to worry about your burlap coming off. Okay, don't have to worry about it coming off. Now let me explain to you the poof method. Now the poof method is, we're just going to stick this through these 2 bars right here. These 2 bars right here with my hands, is the material is going to come right in between here. Okay, right in between there. You stick the material right in between there. And what you do is you make the poof, okay, as big as you want. So now if you want to be a perfectionist, you can actually measure on your board, right? You can go, this is the bottom, 1, 2, 3. You want your poofs to be 3 inches. Now you can do that if you want to be a perfectionist. I ain't all into perfection. I just look at it and keep going, right? Because this is not rocket science. This is your art. So I like that poof. And you see how I did that? See how that's a poof method? I want it down just a little bit more, which is probably at the 3 inches. And then what I do is I just push it over to the side. That's just all I do. I pinch it right over here to the side. So you want to see that again? I pull it through the wreath, right? In between that outer ring and the ring next to it, you pull it through. See? That's what you do. You push it over. Now, some people teach you to twist the back and then pull it through the next row. I don't even bother with that because you want to know what? We've already attached it to the wreath frame. It ain't going nowhere, right? So we don't need to do all of that twisting. Okay? So all I do is push it to the side like that, hold with one hand, and then I take it, the material, and then I just stick it through the next 2 bars. Just stick the burlap to the next 2 bars. And then you just match up, pull out some of your wreath, your burlap from your roll, and you just measure the size. You try to get most of your poofs the same size. That's about the same size. And you push that over to the side. So now you got 2 poofs. See how that look? 2 poofs about the same size. And I'm just holding them with these 2 hands just to get them out my way. I don't have to hold them. But when you hold it, you have more control of it slide now, because right now it's going to slide out and it's going to get in your way. So you don't want it in your way, so you just take this hand and you hold it, right? Now we went in between these 2 bars here the first time. Let me show you these 2 bars. The second time we went in between these 2 bars. Now the third time we got to go in between these 2 bars. So we do the same thing. We just pull the burlap through. You just have to make sure you got all the sides through, right? You measure with the burlap that you just put in, and then you scrunch. You pull it up if you need to add it. You see, you just want to get it around the same height it is all the way through. You want to pick up that end part a little bit, both of them, to see if they're even. And as you can see, they're just about even, which is perfectly fine. And you want to know what I do? We got to go right. We got to repeat this. We're going to repeat this all the way around this wreath. Okay? And you see, this is poof. It's poofy. That's why it's called the poof method, right? So what we do is you just go right back up here, and I'm trying to push it to the side so it won't be in your way. That's why we hold it, so it's out of your way. Take the burlap. Just flip it under. You see my hand? I'm just going under. That's all I'm doing, because this burlap is beautiful on both sides. So you don't have to worry about a bad side, because there is no bad side with burlap, right? So here you go. You just tuck it under, and you come back over. Come back through. That's why you can call this the pull-through method. The only reason why I add poof to it is because you can also do a ruffle pull-through method. Now you see how that's a poof? We push that over because we measured it. See, it's about the same height as the other ones. And if it's a little big or a little small, it's not going to make a difference. Trust me. This is not rocket science. It does not have to be exact. So you've done that. You come back in between the next 2. You come down to the in between the next 2. You do that poof. You put it to the desired height as the other ones. You pull it, and then you hold it, and then you go to the next one. And you slide it over. See? You have yourself a start of a poof method wreath. Look at that. See how that is? And this is when you start deciding as you make it, how tight you want your poofs. Now I like myself semi-tight. And the reason being is because when it's too loose, you can start seeing the bars in between. You see how you can see that? But when you make it tight, when your poof starts getting like that, then you can't see the bars in between, and you don't want to see the bars in between. But you see how those are just about all the same size, even all the way around. Nice, clean look. So we're going to hold it again with the other hand, and we're going to go back in between the top. We're going to go back up to the top. And remember, we're just going to take the burlap and just lay it under with our hands. See, just laid it under with my hands, and we're just going to stick it through. That's all we're going to do. We're going to stick it through. Try to get it about the right height. And you have to unroll your burlap. All right. Get it about the right height. Now it may seem like it's a little uneven, so you even it back up. It's not a problem. You scrunch it over. You holding it, you scrunch it over. You see, you got everything about the same height. And like I said, if it's a little bit shorter or taller, it's not a big deal. So at this point, it's getting a lot for your hands, right? So if somebody has carpal tunnel, this may bother you a little bit. So just know that. And if you let it go, you let it go. It's not a big deal, but it's kind of harder to work with when you can't hold it. So just know that. Also, I forgot to tell you guys, when you're using burlap, you may want to wear a mask if it's something that you're not used to dealing with, because burlap does have fibers that float in the air, and it may mess with your allergies or respiratory problems, anything like that. So make sure when you're using burlap, if you do have any respiratory issues or bad allergies, you may want to use a mask when using burlap. But if it doesn't bother you, then you can be like me and don't have to worry about it. Now we just went through the front, the top, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yep. So now we want to go to that middle. We just take it, go under, stick it through. Going to the wrong one. We want to go to the second row, right? Pull out that end. See, we got the end. Make sure you pull out that end because it'll get tucked under. And then you find the other end, right? So now we want to make sure it's about the same height. Pull it up, and then you scrunch it over. That's the second row. So now we want to go down to the bottom row. Make sure you got that end. Pull that end out. See that end? Make sure you got that end out. And then you go and find the other end. So yeah, you got the other end out. Then you measure to the right height, and then you scrunch it over. Now, you keep opening it up to see how you want it, right? You still got a little bit more space to go in here. But this is how you see how poofy and full you want it, how tight you want these poofs to be, right? So you want to just make sure. Hey Kim, thanks for checking in with me, girl. Hey girl, have you done these before? Let me know in the comments. This right here, see how that is? It's the poof. Now I like mine tighter, so I'm gonna go in some more. So I'm gonna hold it again, and now I'm not holding the whole thing, right? You can hold it like this if it feels more comfortable for you, right? The overhand, or you can go under, behind. I'm going to try to do it behind so you guys can see me. And I'm just pushing the wreath against my body. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it over because it just feels better for me. So excuse my hand. But we're going to go in between these two rows again because we're starting over. So remember, you just got to unroll your burlap a little bit. Give yourself some space, some material. And we just take our hand and go under the burlap. And it's going to twist over. And that's fine. And you're going to stick it under. Make sure you get that end, that first end. Use this hand to get it up. Now, if you want to size it and measure it, you just bring it up to the next one, the one before it, the one next to it, you scrunch it over. Right? So now we want to go down to the next one. And you may have the one before it wanting to get loose. It's okay. You don't have to stress yourself about this wreath. Don't stress yourself about it. If stuff start coming, you can fix it. You see how I let it go? Now I'm measuring it just by looking at it. And I'm scrunching it over. And I'm going through those two bottom rows. But make sure you get the end up, okay? You got that outside end. I mean the inside, this part right here. You got the end. See, that's what I mean about the ends. And then you got this end over here. Make sure you get those two pieces up. See how the end is? This is the end. This is what I mean by the end. Make sure you pull those two up. Now I can just lay this down. Measure it with the other ones. And I know that's a good height. See? All the same height. If you want to measure it, make sure it's the same height. Now, if you just want that, like that's tight enough for you. Those poofs are tight enough for you. Then that's all you need to put in this row. It's up to you. It is your design. It is up to you how tight you want your poofs to be, right? So if this is tight enough for you, then you go on to your next section. I like mine a little tighter. So I'm going to put another row in and I'm going to see if that's what I like. So I'm going to push this over again. I'm going to take my hand. I'm going to go back underneath. And I'm going to go back in between these two bars. Remember, we're going to the outside bar and that bar next to it. You may want to just lay out your burlap a little bit. Go back underneath the two bars. Just measure it out. At this point, you can just measure it out. And if say you get it this high, see how that's the wrong height, right? Too high. You just pull it out. See, pull it back down. So you don't need to stress. You don't need to stress. Grab the end, grab both ends, even them up, right? Even them up. As you see me doing here, even them up. Now you see it's about the same size, right? If you want, you pull it down a little more. Push it over. Now we want to go to the next row, right? We just did this two row. Let me show you. We just went in between here, these two. Now we got to go in between these two, right? Just stick it under, pull it through, grab this end, grab the other end, size it where you want it, to the size you want it, the height you want it. That's a good height for me. Push it over, and we're going to go now in between these two bars. These two bars right here, we're going to go in between those. Take it, and you just stick it right through. And you're going to start feeling it get real tight. You're going to have tension, okay, in this section now, because now you're filling up this section. Now you match the height with the one before it. And look. There you go. Now that's poofy enough for me, right? That's great for me. I like that poofiness. I like how full and flowy that looks. I like that. And as you can see, you can't see the bars anywhere in that section, right? Can't see the bars anywhere, right? And then as you go in and you fluff up, even if you can, you know, you just fluff it up and you can't see. But as you can see, you can't see any of the bars, right? So I like this. This is flowy and this is full enough for me. So what I do is now I'm going to this section. This section right here. Going in between here. We're going to do the same exact thing in this section, this section, this section. Just it's 6 sections. So we're going to do the same all the way around. So hey, say hi when you come in. Thank you, Kim, for checking in with me. So we're going to go on to the next section. Like I said, you just roll your hand under the burlap, put it in between these two bars. You make sure you have this end and this end. You measure it against that last one, pinch it in, go to the next 2 bars. Now I have several rolls of burlap because I don't know how much I'm going to need. I've made this wreath before, but it's been a while since I've made this style, so I don't remember exactly how much burlap. So I just made sure I had enough burlap. So you make sure you at least have, I would think, 2 rolls at least, but we're gonna see how many. We're gonna find out. And it also all depends on how tight you make your design, how much material you're using. So I pull it in, pull it up to my last one, pinch it in. Go in, make sure I pull this end up, get this end up, pull it up to the desired height that I want it, pinch it in. We going back up to the top, and we just pulling that here, making sure we got this end up and then this end up, right? Going to the desired height, we pinch it, we pull it over. We go to the next 2 rows, which is these two right here, and we just working our way down. We work our way down, then we come back up. You know, this is the desired height right here. We pinch it, go under to the next 2 rows, get this in and get this in. Remember, make sure you get your ends, and you know that's the height you want it. And then you just go up. You're just going to repeat this all the way around. Now you can go back to the beginning and find out exactly how many you put in each in the first section, so you can make sure it's the same amount if you like, or you can just do it by sight, do it by feel. It's not a problem, but it's always good to hold it. You see how I hold it? Like I'm pushing these to the side, because it will spread out and get in your way. So in order for you to pull the burlap through, you got to move this to the side in order to pull a burlap through. But once you get it pulled through, remember, go to the ends, pull the ends up. You know that's the height that you want it. And now we want to go to the last row down here. Don't forget, pull this end up, pull this end up, pull to the desired height, pull it through. Go back up to the top. Now, like I said before, some designers have you twisting the bottom when you get to it to so-called keep it from coming loose. I did start off doing that, and I realized, to me, that's just not a step you need to take, because once you secure the burlap to your wreath frame with the zip tie, it's not coming off anyway. So we don't already went through here. Now we down at that lower level between the last bars at the bottom. Like I said, you just pull those 2 ends, get it to the desired height, and you just take a look, fluff it out, see if that's good enough for you. I probably will put another row in, because I want it just a little tighter like this. This is a little loose, if you can tell. You see how looser this is than this? So I'm going to put another row in and see if it looks the same. So we're going to push it over again, take the hand under, and pull that burlap back through that top section, right? Take those ends, pull it up to the desired height. If it's too high, pull it down. This is very flexible. It's very forgiving, this style here. You pull it, you got to pull it over, right? Because you got to be able to get the burlap through. So in order to get your burlap through, you got to hold this burlap with this hand to get it through. So you give it a little space. My thumb got stuck there. Like I said, just put it down on your table. Look at the height of your last one. Try to match it up. And like I said, you see how it's matched up? And one don't look higher than the other. And if it does, just give it a little tug. Get it to the right height. All right? Push it over. And then we want to go to this row down here at the bottom. Make sure you grab that end. You want to make sure the most important part with this, to me, this style, is to make sure you pull these ends out. Okay, because when you don't have these ends out, it's sort of it's uneven, right? You'll have this tucked under, this sticking up. So you want to have it where it's even. See how my hands have it, and it's just about even. You got tension all the way across, right? That's what you want to have. So now we unfluff. We fluff out. And I like it because it's all kind of tight, twisted, full, pretty, not being able to see no bars. I like that fullness. Now, like I said, you don't have to make it this full. You can do less rows of poofs in each section. It is totally up to you. But this is a quick and easy way where there's no measurements, okay, no glue, only one zip tie in the beginning, and probably when we have to connect and add another row, that you have to use zip ties, and that's it. That's it. And then you add whatever you want to it. Very simple and easy way to make a wreath. All right, so we're going to go to the next section. I'm going to hold this over. So now I can work in between these 2 sections here. This section here. And remember, we go through the first 2. We go up here, so we pull our burlap right through here. Okay, this is where we pulling our burlap through. So we pull our hands under, and see, we're getting low on our burlap. So we pull our hands through, our burlap through, get our 2 ends, measure it when it's about the same height as the last ones, pull it over. And then you just go down to the next section. That's all you do. Go down to the next section, pull your two ends. Remember, get your two ends, get it up to the height you want it to. It's there, to the bottom. Get it up to the height you want it. And if you think the height is too high, bring it down. It's okay. Like I said, this is a wreath that you really can't mess it up. And if you do mess it up, you just take it out and do it over. No big deal, right? Go right back up and keep going until you fill up this section as full as you want it. Or until, you know, when you run out of burlap, then I'll show you how to attach it. And you can do this. If this wreath is for you to sell, you may want to use some glue. I'm actually not on this tutorial. I'm just going to use a zip tie. So we get into the bottom of it, of this burlap. I'm going to see how far I can go. I'll move it over, start on the next row. I like to see how far I can go, and then I may have to take it back out and connect, but I want to see how far I can go on it, and that's about it. That's about it. So what I do, this frame has broken, but what I'm going to do, you see how this is? Normally what I would do is I would take glue and glue this, right? So I know it's continuous. I didn't turn on my glue gun. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to the frame while attaching a new roll, right? And right where this lets off at, so we're going to take this and we're going to attach this right here to this frame. At the same time, we're going to attach this. So we're going to kind of wrap this new burlap, right? With this new burlap. And we're going to put it through like we did before, like we did the top. So it's going to be through the wrap burlap, and it gets a little tricky, but you see how I got it through both burlaps, and we're going to pull it through and pull it up and then over the rail, and then we're going to attach it to the back like we started it, same way. Right? That's what we're going to do. Matter of fact, I wasn't supposed to attach it there. Let me take that off. Where is my snippers at where I can cut this? Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I put it in the wrong place. And we're going to just cut that off. My zip tie. We're going to cut that off. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to get it cut off. Can't find my other wire snippers. My ones that can cut this off easily. So I'm using my scissors. Because what I did was I pulled it to the rail when we wasn't over there to the rail yet. Alright, so we're going to correct that. And this is why I said if you make a mistake, you can fix it. It's not a big deal. I needed to connect it to the middle section. So what we do, like this is where it stopped at. You need to connect it here. This is where you need to connect it at. So I made a boo-boo and I connected it there, which is fine. Okay? Which is fine. You connect it where you stopped at. So right here, so I'm going to have to bring, so we have this here, right? The old one. Let me cut off some of these straggling tails so you can see, because now that we messed around with it. So we take this in, we fold it over, and we bring the new piece over that end, right? Like we wrapping it. And we lean it up against that rail. Okay, we want it right here on that rail. That's where it stopped at, right? So we're going to take the zip tie and we're going to go in between both of these Go under, go over, come back on the other side, and then we're going to close it up. And now we have attached the new roll at the right place. Like I said, you make a mistake, it's okay. We can fix it. It's not rocket science. It's okay. So now we just go back in here. Now you can, let me cut this a little bit. Go ahead and cut up this excess. Get it out your way. Take this and start all over again with the new roll. Make sure you pull through. Pull through, you get it to the desired height that you want. Go back up to the top and you just start doing it all over again. This is without any glue, any real measurements. You're just getting it to whatever height you want it to. That's it. Go to the next row. Pull it up. You know my thing. Make sure you got your ends. Pulling these two ends. Get it to the desired height. You push it over. Then you go to the next two. Pull it through the next section. You pull it to the desired height. And there you go. Now I'm going to do another row because that's a little poofy for me. And that may be perfect for you. Remember what I said. That may be perfect for you. If that's perfect for you, you can stop. You can move on. Right? Like this is not. And what you do is if they look too tight, you want them poofy, just go in, pull on them. Put your hand in them. Don't pull on this burlap too much because you can actually make a hole in your burlap. Right? Be gentle with it, but you can pull it out some. Depending on how it's laying, move it around. We can get a little air in it, make a little poof for you. And there you go. So I'm going to do one more in this section because I want it a little tighter. Remember, get your ends up because you got to make sure those ends is up. Now, if I pull this through and it looks too tight, guess what? I can just pull it out. That's all you can do. That's all you have to do. Make sure you got your ends. Take these ends, pull these ends out. Get that middle up, pull these ends out. You know that's desired height. And then go to the next section. Get your ends up. Desired height. And we know that's it for this section. Look at that. And we're halfway done. We're halfway done. We're halfway done. We're there. And see how neat and clean the back of your wreath is? Neat and clean. And we go right to the next section. Go right up to the top. Pull it through. You just measure it with the section right before it. See if that's the height you want it. Yep. And you just pull it through. Go down to the next section. Measure it to the height that you want it. Make sure you got that end up. Right? You pull it through. Go to that bottom section. Measure it with the one before it. Pull it through. And you just keep going. Just keep going until you get it filled up as much as you want it filled up. That's all. Make sure that end is up. Move it over. You just pull it through. Make sure you got that end up. Look at the height. Make sure it's where you want it with the one before it. Pull it through. Go down to the next row. Make sure you got those ends up. Check the height. That's where you want it. Push it over, go up to the top, start it all over again. And like I said, you can count how many poofs, you put in each section if you want to keep it, that way. I just go by look, but you can count if you like. Okay, I pull up each end. I look at the height. If it's a little too long, too tall, I'll just pull that end down. Whichever end is too tall, that end look like it's a little too tight. Look at it, pull it over, go down to the next available right here, which is underneath. Make sure you got that end up. Pull your ends up. Look at your height. It's where you need to be. I like more. And sometimes you don't have to, once you do that first section, you may not have to put as many in the following sections because now you got some tension for it to be on. Okay? And what I mean by that is when you do your first section here, right? Now you got tension for your mesh, your burlap rather, to be on. It's not as loose because now you got, burlap that's fitting on and fitting on and fitting on. See how that is? Now if you think this is looking too tight, you can always take a row out, right? That's totally up to you. If you think it's looking too tight, then you take a row out. But you can always fluff it up, give it a little air in between. But like I said, if you think it's too tight, you just pull it back out and redo it to the poof that you like. Okay, to the desired size that you like. Not a problem, right? So I'm going to go over to the next section. And once you start doing sections, right? Once you start doing it, you'll look at it and be like, okay, yes, that's the right height. You may not even have to measure. You just look at it really quick. Okay, yep, that's the desired height. Push it over. And you have to sometimes with this, see how this is sticking out? You can see how that's sticking out right here. You have to push that over so you can get the burlap up and through. Okay? If it's in your way, just push it over and get the burlap through. Not a big deal. It's too tall, push it back down. That's the height. You make sure you get your ends up. Get your ends up. That's a little tall, so I'm going to pull that down some. And I'm going to go right back up to the top. Now, you can do this where you only using 2 rows of burlap, right? Unfortunately, I think I'm going to get to a 3rd row just to finish up this last one because I made it a little tight, which is how I like it. But just the way I'm looking at it is that you can actually do this with just 2 rows of burlap. Like I said, if you make it too tall, you can always pull it back down to get it to the right height. You want you want your ends to be up. Okay, remember you get those ends up. And that's how you measure your height. So we just gonna continue to go around. Okay? If you need me to go slow, let me know in the comments and I'll go slow. Pushing it over, going in between these 2 rows now. These 2 rows right here. Right in between there. Because if you're just in the top row, it's the right height. Push it over. Now we're going to go between these 2 rows. Okay? Stick the burlap through. That's the right height. Push it through. I want to do another row. Make sure you got those ends up. Maybe a little high. That's a good height. Go in between the next 2. Pull it through. Going between the 3 rows. This is the third one. Down. Now, see if that's enough for you. See how pretty that is? See how pretty that is? Now, I know I'm going to run out of burlap in this section, right? So I can roll this out and I can glue it, or I can do what I showed you before with a zip tie. Okay? You know, we can do that. I wanted to show you how you connect it without using any glue. Any glue. So now we're just going to go on over to the last section. We're going to go up, pull your 2 ends up, push it over. That's at my desired height. Go in between the next 2 rows, pull it up and over, making sure it's at the right height with the other ones. Push it over. You can go in between the last section here at the bottom. You're going to pull it up, and that's the desired height. Now we got to start a new one, right? Remember how we did it before? Make sure it's at the right height, which it is with the other one. See, has all lined up at the same height. We want to make sure it stays at the same height, right? Flip it over, take the new burlap, and this can be made with 2 rolls of burlap. I make mine extra tight, so I'm going to, and I think this second row, the second burlap was already open. So this is probably only made with 2, you only need 2 rolls of burlap. Buy a third one just in case. But more than likely, this is made with 2 rolls because the roll that you saw me use, that the second row was already open. So with that being said, it may only take 2 full rolls, brand new rolls of burlap to do this wreath. And I'm quite sure it can, because a lot of people don't like it as tight as I do it. So you probably will be able to space it out even better. So you will just need 2 rolls of burlap to do this wreath. Okay? Like this is already open. This is already used, just like the last one. So I'm thinking if the last one wasn't already open and used, we wouldn't need to attach another row. Okay? You probably wouldn't. So we're doing this here, and we're going to attach it to this last, because that's where you stopped at. So we're just going to wrap that around here to attach it to this, right? I don't know if you guys can see that. You see how the old one is here? And we just went around that old one with the new one. That's all we're doing. And then we're going to lay it flat, right? And we're holding on to that bar, because we're going to take the zip tie, go underneath that bar, up and over, and attach it in the back. So you take the zip tie, you go through both of the old burlap and then the new burlap and around that bar, because you see it's attached to the bar, and then you want to close your zip tie. And you've got a new roll started, right? That's simple. And like I said, this can be made with only 2 brand new rolls of burlap. My second roll was already open, so that's why I don't have enough to finish this. But we're almost at the beginning. Look, this is where we started at. So we don't have that much space to go. Like I said, I think 2 rolls of burlap would do you fine, even with my tight method, the style that I do. Even with that style, I think you still can definitely do it with just 2 rolls of burlap. So we flip it back over, right? And we can actually cut this excess. I forgot to cut the excess, so it's not in your way. Just the excess, not the new roll. I don't like all of that. Sticking out all over the place. Even though it's burlap, it's supposed to be like that. I'm just cutting off some, just so it looks a little neat. I'm flipping it back over, because now we did that bottom row. We got to take this burlap. Remember, we roll our hand underneath, and then we just stick that back in. We go in between those 2 rows at the top, slide it over, right? And then we go to the next 2 rows. If you need me to go slow because I'm almost finished, let me know in the comments, because I'll slow up and show it to you again. When you come in, make sure you say hi. Let me know you're watching me. Whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching the replay, let me know. Type replay into the description, into the comments rather. Let me know you're watching the replay. Hey, and let me know if this is something that you want to try to do. I want to know. I had a customer reach out to me on TikTok. I think it was TikTok or Instagram. Can't remember which one. Because I'm on all platforms, by the way. And in the description, you'll see my link to my Etsy shop. So if you guys are interested in seeing my other work and possibly purchasing a wreath from me, I would greatly appreciate it. You can head on over to my Etsy shop and see what wreaths that I've already done and what I have available in my shop for you to purchase if you like. Also, I am on YouTube, and you guys, if you like this video, if you guys would like to go on over to my YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you guys can get notifications whenever I post a new video, and you can watch some videos and learn how to do some of the wreaths. Alright, that's a little high, so we pull that down. We go in between the next row, so we're in between these 2 rows now. It's getting tight in here, so it's hard to see. But we just went in between these 2, so now we're going to go in between these 2. It's kind of hard to see. But there's 2 rows here. We're going to go in between there. You make sure you got your 2 ends up. Remember, get your 2 ends up. And once you get to your desired height, you go to the next row. Get your 2 ends up, pull it through, got your desired height, push it over. Gonna go up again, and like I said, it's getting tight in here, but we're going in between these 2 rows, right in between here. This is where we're going. Pull it through, grab your 2 ends, pull it to your desired height, move it over, go in between these 2 now. These 2 right here, and it's hard to see, I know it is, but right here, and if you watch my video from the beginning, it's much clearer to see. But you go in between the next 2 down, grab both ends, like I said, it's getting tight in here now because you're getting to the end. So you grab both ends, you get to the desired height, push it over, because you got these on this side and these on this side, so it's getting tight. You go to that bottom row, that bottom section in there, pulling it through. Make sure you get your ends. Like I said, that's the most important to me part of doing this wreath, is making sure you pull your ends through. You got it to the desired height. I want to do one more. Let me see. Do I need to do one more? Let's see. Let's see. Because you got some on this side. You may not need it that tight on this side and this section over here, because you got some in that section. Let's see what it looks like on camera. Nope. I think I'm done. That's it. Like I said, you may not need, once you start putting them up there, you may not need as much as you think you need to go all the way around. So then what you do, how you finish it, is you cut this off, give yourself a couple of inches up material. Like I said, this can be done with 2 full rolls of burlap. If you make yours really, really tight, you may need another roll. But if you don't, then you only need 2 full rolls of burlap. Now, you see this is the end of it. We're going to attach it to this wire right here, because you can't see this middle wire. So you go ahead and attach it to this bottom wire right here. So you fold it over, and you just lay it over that wire. You take your zip tie, go under, and then back up through your burlap. you make sure you're attached to the frame. See how this is moving with me? I can drag it all over me, and I'm attached to the frame, right? And then I can feel it also. See, you can look as well. See, you know you're around that frame. And then you tighten it up. Give it a good tug. Make sure it's nice and tight. Snip it off. Now look, the back of your wreath is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with the back of this wreath. You can put a hook here if you like, or you can leave it. Now what I mean about using this wreath year round, let's get to the year round part now. We've made the wreath, right? So now we want to get to the year round part. You can get picks at the local stores, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, wherever you decide to get your picks at, the Dollar Tree. Get your picks, and this is what I mean by picks. Let me come over here in this area right here. This is what I mean by picks. They come in florals, right? And these came from Hobby Lobby. This one came from, I think this one is Walmart, I think. Floral Gardens. I can't remember. No, Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree, probably. Dollar Tree. These are Dollar Tree. These are Hobby Lobby. So get any picks you want, right? What you do is put your picks together. So you got a floral, and this is just my design. You can come up with any design you want to have, right? You put this pumpkin with this pine tree, with this design, with this pick here, give it a little fullness, right? You take the same thing with the other pick and the other pumpkin and pine tree, and pine cone rather, and you put it down in the opposite end. So now you have a pick. See how that is? Now you took the picks and now you have like a floral design. Now I want to show you how you can change this out for every season. You take this pick here, and if I was doing this to sell, I would use a zip tie. But for training purposes, I'm just going to use a Chanel stem because I'm going to take this back out. And you want to wrap this around this little pick arrangement that you've made, right? And I like to have like maybe a fist space in between, like your fists, like that much space in between each pick, because that's where you place your bow. Now you can make this tighter, push it in, like measure it to your hand, and you can also push it down a little closer, get it a little closer, pull the picks in so you have a tighter hole there, a smaller hole, and you just give it a good twist. And this is what I'm doing for training purposes. Remember, if I was doing this to sell, I would use a zip tie and also hit it with some glue all around these picks to make sure they don't fall out, right? So you have a whole little design here. What you do is you take it and you place it on your burlap. See how that is? You got a full wreath. You just maneuver the leaves. All of this is wired. You bend it if you want to. See how I can bend it? All of this is wired. You bend it so it takes the shape of your burlap wreath there. You bend it. You can put on the top. You can put on the bottom. You can put on the side. Whatever you want it. What you do is once you find where you want it at, you take another Chanel stem. And we're going to use white so you can see, right? And you stick that through your burlap. Just stick it through your burlap on either side. Tie it down. Once you tie it down, you then put a bow on it, right? If you know how to make a bow, get the full material that you want and make yourself a pretty bow and put the bow here, right? And put the bow here. This is fall. You have yourself a fall wreath. Now, when fall is over, you untwist your Chanel stem from the back, from your bow, and your pick, toss it to the side. You want to do Christmas or winter. This is what you do. Let me find my winter or Christmas pick. I've already tied these two together. Look at that. That's winter or Christmas, however you want to put it, because you can put some red beads, a ball, whatever you want. Matter of fact, let me show you this right here. If you want to do a Christmas one, I already had this together for another design, right? Look at that. Christmas. You put these two, you take another Chanel stem, right? Chanel stem, stick it through the burlap, twist it, buy yourself a bow or make yourself a bow. Put it right here in the center as well. Fluff it up around your pick, bend your pick. You have a winter wreath. Take the fall off. Poof, you're done. Now you have a winter wreath. You can use this wreath all year round. This is what I say about all year round. Okay? Let me know in the comments if this is something that you can do. Let me know in the comments if you ever thought about doing it this way. Whether you're watching a replay or watching it live, let me know. Comment. Let me know how you like this as well. Like this idea of being able to reuse a wreath. Because a lot of times, wreaths are expensive. So if you can purchase a wreath that you can utilize several times throughout the season, if not all year round, why not do it, right? I think that's a great idea. So this is your Christmas/winter. Or like I said, you can do this because it's got the balls on it. And this is Christmas to you. And then you can change it after Christmas. So after December, you can change this and put this up here for January. With you get a bowl that just has snowflakes on it. Right? And that means winter. Like I said, you either make your bow or you purchase your bow. You guys know you can find pre-made bows, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, all those craft stores, even the Dollar Tree. Don't sleep on the Dollar Tree. They have bows or pre-made bows at the Dollar Tree as well. So you stick this on after you take off the Christmas. Now you got your winter wreath. Okay, winter's over. I mean, you can do the same thing. You can go back to the store. What is it? February, we got Valentine's Day. Get your Valentine's Day picks. Put them together. Get some pretty bow. Make another bow. I have another one here I can show you. Like Halloween. We just passed Halloween. Right? These are picks. Remember, these are what they call picks. Right? These little pieces that you can get at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, at Joann's, wherever you shop at, a Dollar Tree, right? Put your picks together. I would say like a couple, these are 4 fingers at least wide. If you, not unless you want to make a big bow, you do it wider, but you size it how you want it. You get them together. If you're going to sell it, make sure you zip tie it and you glue it. If it's just for you, you can use a Chanel stem. Twist it together with a Chanel stem. Put it down here through a Chanel stem. Do a bow. Halloween bow, whatever bow you want, put your bow here, and now you have a Halloween wreath. You can always add a pumpkin, stick a pumpkin in, whatever you want to do. Stick on a spider. You can use this wreath all year round. Just don't glue it onto the material. Okay? The whole thing is no glue. Something you can remove, right? So that's your Halloween. See? Halloween. We finished with that. Now, patriotic, right? Well, before we do patriotic, we gotta do Easter, April, right? So here goes some quick picks I found. We can take it out the plastic so you really can see it. And these are some picks that I ordered from my wholesaler. But they have these picks similar to this in Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, whatever. Easter. And like I said, you can put it anywhere you want to. Anywhere you want to on your wreath. Anywhere you want to. Right? You want it here in the corner. You want it here. You want it on the bottom. You want it on the side. You put them together with your Chanel stem. Put a bow attached to it. Pin it down. And that is your holiday wreath. You don't need nothing else. You're done. Right? We got one more I want to show you, which is patriotic. Now, this is a little big for this wreath, but I just wanted to give you an idea. Find your picks at Dollar Tree, Dollar General. Find your picks at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Joann's. Put your 2 picks together like I did with a Chanel stem, something you can take apart. or a zip tie, because you know you can snip a zip tie. Don't use no glue. Put it down. Get yourself your patriotic ribbon. Make yourself a bow or purchase a bow. Put it here. Attach it to the back of this wreath. Hang it up. You can put it here. You can put it here. Put it here. Anywhere you want to. Anywhere you want to. That's why I say this is a year-round wreath. Year-round wreath. So I'm hoping you guys loved this video. If you did, please like and comment. Let me know. Please go and subscribe over to my YouTube and see the other videos that I have purchased. I have made on my YouTube. Watch some of those. I hope you enjoyed my video. I want to show you real quick another method. And if you guys are interested in me showing you how to do this method, you guys let me know in a comment. This is what I call the pull through ruffle method. Okay, pull through ruffle method. You see how this is different from this? Right? See the difference? Pull through ruffle method. I'm sorry for the movement, but that's just my wire to my camera. I have it attached. Right? Pull through ruffle method. Let me know in the comments how you feel about that. Let me know. If you comment, I don't see anything at the time, but let me know in the comments. You see how this is poof method and this is ruffle. See the difference? And you see what I said? You see the picks? Now these picks jingle. Right? I love that. I love opening and closing the door and hitting the jingle. That means holiday for me. Just like when I go to Walmart, as soon as I hear the guys jingling, guys and girls jingling the bell outside, I know it's holiday season. This right here is what you can use. This is a pick with a bow in the center. That's it. It's attached. But this is permanently attached. This is also glued as well because this is going to be for sale. Okay, but if you're making it for your house, you do not glue anything down. You just make everything tied on the back, and as the season change, you take it out. And here you go. We got fall. You see how we just changed that wreath? Look at that. This is what I mean. You can just change the wreath with your pick section and your bow. Okay, I'm hoping you guys like this, enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you with making your wreaths or deciding on what kind of design you want to make, what suits your family the best. Or try it. It's very, very simple to do. Like I said, it was no cutting, no real measurements. We only used 4 zip ties, and we probably could have got away with only 3 zip ties. 1 in the beginning, 1 to attach the second row, and 1 to end it. It's just that I used the second row was not a full row, so I had to go to a 3rd row. But this you can use. This is your bare wreath right here. And you mix it with any style you want to. Let's put this beautiful Christmas back up here. Also, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you guys. You can do an everyday one. Your last name start with a J. Your last name start with a P. Do a bow. Right? Do a bow. Or no bow. This wreath is beautiful without anything. So if you don't really celebrate the holidays, or you just want to have something for your office, your classroom, the hospital that you work at, wherever you go that you want to see something nice, you want to have it hanging in your garage because you've done your garage, down in your basement, in your sunroom. You want something beautiful and something that you can hang up all throughout your house or somewhere else you want to give as a gift. You want it personalized. Do a letter. Right? Spray painted their favorite color. Put their school, the teams, like if they're Georgia, red, black, and white. If they Cowboys, that blue, silver, and white. You can paint it with stripes. Whatever you want to do. You can do the P. You can do the J, any letter you want. Remember, this is very versatile. You can use for any and all occasions. Any and all occasions. If somebody's having a baby, you can get a picture that says, "Oh, baby." Get the little baby, little things you can put on that you don't have to glue down. But if you want to give it to them as a gift, go ahead and put a little dot of glue on it and put it so they can hang it in the baby's room. Right? You can go anywhere with this wreath. Anywhere with this wreath. Okay, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. It's been a little over an hour. But I just wanted you guys to have an option. Wanted you to have a way to how to make an everyday burlap wreath that is affordable. Okay? It's not on the real low side, but it is affordable to make. It just takes a little time, but it is easy to make, and you can use this all year round. Hey guys, thanks for sticking in there with me and watching this video. Please comment that you're watching a replay when you watch this video. Ask me any questions you like. I get notifications. I will get back to you with any answer to your questions. Please go over to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, watch my other videos. I have plenty of videos on YouTube showing you different styles of wreaths to make. So head on over to my YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube. Also, like I said, I have an Etsy in the description. It's going to be a link directly to my Etsy shop if you want to pick out. If you don't mind, please favor my Etsy shop. That way you'll know when I post a new wreath to my Etsy shop. I'm also on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm obviously on Facebook. So you can check me out on all of those social media platforms and and follow me on those if you like. I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support you've given me so far, and I hope you tune in to see. Maybe I'll do the pull through method with you next time. That way you can see how easy this one is to. No, matter of fact, I've done this one already, but if you want to see me do it again, please let me know in the comments, and I'll put that video on for you again. This video should be already uploaded to Facebook. If not, I'll look tonight to make sure it is uploaded. But as you can see, easy pick and a bow, and you make this whatever wreath you wanted to. All right, everybody, until we meet again, be safe. Bye.